It's BudPod episode 8.
I can hear the sound of Frosties hitting my plate.
Fuck, that guy.
Fuck that guy, yeah.
He was South African.
He was South African.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
One of the only other young South Africans in British media ever. It's me and the Frosties.
And he really blew it. He really blew it for a lot of you. Yeah.
Did your school have that mad rumor that he killed himself?
Yeah. And then I think there was like a Vice article that went around that people read, which was about that he was this kid in South Africa and was like, I had no idea what it was even advertising. it was
Frosties.
Yeah. And I just had to say, a bloke in a crate or whatever. It was such a phenomenally crap advert.
They're gonna taste
They're
great.
going to.
Yeah.
Like, just give us time.
Yeah.
I just need more time. I promise. Let me make this right. I can make this right.
Like from fucking Narcos or something.
Yeah.
Or Walter White.
Just give me a few weeks to get the Frosties together.
It's so British to do an advert about the anticipation of eating something that should be nice, as opposed to, I have just had some and it is nice.
Yeah, he's hearing it.
It's not a review.
I remember everyone at the time being pissed off about the whole plate thing. That was mental.
Yeah, that's true. They're not hitting your plate.
No.
They're hitting your bowl.
Yeah. They might be ricocheting off the plate if it's next to it if you're pouring it into the bowl in the cupboard, in the crockery cupboard, and then you take it out.
What, with handfuls?
Yeah.
It's gonna taste great. Like flinging loose gravel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how people used to do it.
I'm trying to think of something that rhymes with bowl.
It's a soul.
They're gonna taste soul. They're good for your soul. They're good for your soul.
I can hear the sound of Frosties hitting my soul. His eyes are rolling back. That's why at the end he ascended into the heavens. And he was like sort of semi-rapping, but was just doing like really weak punches towards the camera.
Yeah.
It was just horrible. Yeah.
It was the most Tim and Eric thing I've ever seen in the wild, I think. They're kind of slightly disgusting.
In terms of the serving of food and drink, the most Tim and Eric thing I've seen in the wild recently is footage during the rounds of, obviously since Ozzy Osbourne died a few days ago, the footage of him being interviewed in a documentary where he pours the orange juice. And it just cuts separately to orange juice just splashing on the thing. He should have been allowed to sue. They had to do that in a separate room with a different person. Like, are you just allowed to do that on television?
I don't know what to think about that clip, because it can't be real. Or is it? Or is it real?
Apparently it's from a real documentary, but that's obviously not him, because it really pisses me off about documentaries, because you go, I remember I'd get really annoyed if I was watching, if I was like visiting my family over Christmas or whatever, and I'd be watching Fred and Gino and Gordon or whatever it was, one of those sort of Top Gear-esque shows, where it's like clearly scripted, but there was a bit where like their car broke down in the desert and it showed them sort of walking away, and my family were like, oh my God, what are we going to do? And it was like, I think the helicopter filming them might be able to step it. Like, where's the camera? Like, there's cameras. Like, they're fine. It's fine. Of course it's fine.
They're holidaying.
But you do just sort of buy into it. So when I saw the first time I ever saw that Ozzy Osbourne clip, I was sort of like, eesh, poor guy. But you sort of go, in retrospect, you go, yeah, poor guy got absolutely screwed over by the people editing it.
Or he thought it would be funny. Because like they do like that kind of thing. Like,
yeah,
he would throw stink bombs into his own crowds and stuff.
But like that, yeah, that was the most evil. That was the most Prince of Darkness thing he ever did.
It's a bad smell. Yeah.
I hope you like eggs. I hope you like fucking eggs, everybody. Yeah. He's come from Satan himself. I got a stink bomb from the fucking Beano.
These like Smithy's pranks.
Yeah.
Like Alice Cooper would release chickens and stuff, and it is funny that like, Marilyn Manson in the 90s.
Yeah.
Building on that. Just and like when you listen to Black Sabbath now, it's good. this is metal music, but compared to like even Metallica, it's much slower.
Yeah.
Things escalate so much.
Yeah.
Marilyn Manson got accused on tour, I think, of cutting off his own genitals on stage. Like that's like something from the devil.
Well, that's happened. I mean, obviously, like Marilyn Manson is a very problematic individual and has faced sort of lots of accusations, but got kind of a lot of those accusations came about because there was a book he'd written in like 2003, some sort of falsified autobiography.
Yes,
where he was trying to make himself seem as sort of like as
devil.
as from the devil as, but so it was sort of like, so we slew the wench and cut her throat, and everyone was like, what the fuck is this? And he had to be like, no, I was being spooky. I was being so spooky.
Very spooky boy.
Yeah,
but the trouble is that it does seem like a lot of the spooky stuff he was saying about himself, where he was like, I'm horrible. You shouldn't trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was right.
Right, one of those guys. He's one of those.
He's one of those guys.
Yeah, he's an 80s BBC presenter, yeah.
Yeah, he's saveling it.
Yeah, absolutely saveling it.
Yeah, send me your children. I'm freaky. Just out in the open, very clear. But watch that clip if you're listening or watching this and you haven't seen it. It's Ozzy Osbourne pouring orange juice and it goes all over the table. But the thing I hate about it is that it kind of goes like, bleh, bleh, like it's really thick, and also it only fills up about an inch of the glass. And then he takes it. And starts,
he's absolutely fine.
He's happy with that.
He's not ashamed. He's not ashamed at all. It's like
a shot of orange juice in a tall glass is a horrible thing to drink.
Like because it takes ages to be able to drink it.
It's like minesweeping.
Yeah,
it's like he's minesweeping someone else's breakfast orange juice.
Oh god. But like, we were saying this the other week about like, well, how could you interview Nigel Farage to screw him over?
Yeah.
Well, couldn't you do that in an interview? He sort of pours himself a cup of tea and it just shows this like wet breadcrumb covered hand just fumbling for the teapot. Like can you do that? And you go, no point did we say that was his hand.
Like when they do hands grabbing things in shows about like Skippy the Bush Kangaroo or like a gorilla.
Yeah.
Where it cuts to like definitely a human hand.
Oh, Thunderbirds did that. Yeah. It goes from sort of like from a mannequin to just a really hairy male hand. And you go, that's Penelope.
really deftly twiddling knobs. And then back to like this fucking wooden club hand. Yeah, but
it was like Captain Scarlet being like, well, time to relieve myself. I mean, it's this horrible, real dick. Oh, just make a puppet one.
It's a real dick, but it's still a wooden hand. Why would you do?
The creators were like, I don't know what you expected us to do differently. It's the only way we could do it. You'd be like, just cut the scene. Just cut the scene. It was integral to the story.
We don't need to see him doing it. No, but it's about realism. We're all about realism. It's like a middle-aged man's penis, but it's still a wooden hand. Like it's still... They've had to make a bigger wooden hand, actually, for an adult dick.
Yeah. If that was a guy's job, and then occasionally you sort of go on like a date with someone or whatever, and you sort of get down to it, someone goes, I'm sorry, you probably get this all the time. Are you Lieutenant White's dick?
Is that Captain Scarlet's dick? Oh, fuck. I thought you were going to say human hand and then like a kind of weird wooden Pinocchio dick. With like,
no, it was fully
like,
the opposite.
But with like yellow string or whatever. Like, how would you even do urine?
Ow. I should say, I mean, quite some discomfort. So we're recording this at 11 a.m. and I haven't gone to bed.
Glenn hasn't gone to sleep.
I haven't gone to bed, which is it's a rarity for me. But I was doing a work in progress last night in Birmingham, and I got home just after 11 p.m. and when I got woken up about 40 minutes later, which just meant I'd had an effective power nap, a very effective one, and I was then ready to face the day.
Yeah.
And so I just, instead of just lying there for 3 hours like I usually try to, just panicking about going to sleep, I then just got out of bed and went to watch TV for a little while, and then just my alarm went off and it was now 5 a.m. and it was time to go to Absolute Radio, and it was like, oh, okay, we can do this. But I'm
you were like a guy
my energy today is way off. I'm in pain, but I've already got tears in my eyes. Positive brackets positive. But yeah,
you were like a guy in a night nurse advert, sitting there. You know when they're lit only by the blue light of the TV.
Yeah.
And the voiceover goes, "Can't sleep."
Yeah, I looked like my situation would have been very dependent on the drink that was in my hand. Like eventually I did have a coffee, but if it had been like a glass of whiskey, you'd go, oh, he's watching home videos from the 90s with tears streaming down his face and trying to remember her. Yeah.
He's watching the whole family that got murdered by the killer he's hunting. Yes,
exactly that. Yeah,
we haven't known his motives as a detective till this scene, and now we can guess at them.
Yeah. It's been an odd week, but I've deliberately withheld this information from you until today. It's nothing exciting. It's just really weird.
Okay.
So on Monday, I was recording the second half of my Radio 4 stand-up series.
Yeah.
And thanks to people who came along, because there were a few BudPod listeners in the audience, and you made yourselves known, which was very, very nice and very cool. I'm very grateful you came. But I was sort of I thought I was so grateful that the audience had been very nice and receptive that at the end of a show I just stood by the door and said bye to them all as they left. And a South African guy, maybe in sort of like his 50s, came over to me. And I don't know if you get this sometimes after a gig where someone will like knowingly make a reference to something that they know you do. Like someone might come up to you after a gig and go, I think you and Frank Skinner would really get along. And you have to go, you know.
We do.
Yeah. And they go, I know, I listen every week. And you're like, thank you. So this guy was like, do you ever collaborate with other comedians? And I was like, yeah, of course, you know. And he said, I think you'd really like, and he said it with like a real wink of like Pierre Novellie. And I was like, yeah, good idea. And I was like, because he's obviously like a BudPod listener or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he was like, yeah, I just think you guys have got like a really similar sense of humor. And I was like, oh, what? Sorry, but I see Pierre more than my wife.
He didn't know.
He had no idea. So if you're listening now, welcome to one of the 2 podcasts we do together every week.
Yeah.
But it was so strange. He just had no idea. What a strange way of... It reminded me of... I felt... I had this myself in lockdown. Where
That's
I was
fucking mad.
It was really nice, but I was
Wow.
in lockdown. I was like, I feel like I should watch a bunch of movies that I've never seen. That I know I'm never going to get around to seeing, like The Seventh Seal or something like that. I'm never going to be in the mood to watch that. But in lieu of being able to go outside and do anything, I may as well watch these sort of things. And I realized I'd never seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
And I was watching the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and the credits came up, and it was sort of like, you know, Tim everyone who's sort of in it, and Susan Sarandon and all these people. And I was watching it with Katie, and then the name Richard O'Brien came up, and then I went as a joke. I was like, imagine if this is the like out of nowhere, it's just the Crystal Maze guy, and the double take she did of like. Sorry, do you know, do you think Richard O'Brien is just the Crystal Maze guy? And that's how I found out that he wrote Rocky Horror Picture Show. I genuinely thought his only job from when he left school onwards was Crystal Maze presenter. It's like if you found it, like if you were like, you know that guy narrates Thomas the Tank Engine? It turns out he was in a band called the Beatles.
But now you've had a taste of what my whole life in the UK has been like.
Right.
Because everyone is... In the UK, everyone who does something amazing and artistic and edgy ends up the host of Glip Glop Hour.
Michael Portillo being now the trains guy.
Yeah, exactly. That kind of psychotic fucking...
Because I used to have this with my parents.
Bill Oddie.
Yeah.
He's a sketch comedian who now hosts a show exclusively about eggs hatching. What is happening?
Yeah, sort of like the one British person we let into North Korea recently was Michael Palin.
Yeah, the guys go...
Yeah.
They go, well, we'll let him in.
Yeah.
He's very respected.
But I had this thing when I was a kid where I'd ask my parents loads about like mascots on packaging. And be like, I'd always point out like the Quaker Oats guy, and when I was like 4, be like, who's that? And my parents be like, not everyone is someone. Sometimes there's just a picture of a man. So sometimes it's just a picture of a man.
So you were almost being introduced to AI-generated people.
Well, kind of, and you'd be sort of like, who's that? And you'd be like, that's just the Raisins lady. She's just the Raisins. Like, she's not anyone. But then occasionally, you'd stumble across one, and you'd be like, well, who's that? And they'd be like... Okay, that guy on the Thousand Island Sauce is one of the most respected Hollywood actors. That is Paul Newman. Right, on that occasion, that is someone.
Yeah.
And for some reason, he advertises sauce.
Yeah, that's the host of MasterChef.
Yeah.
That's Lloyd Grossman.
Yeah.
He also hosts a show where you burgle someone's house visually. And you have to guess
the
who
keyhole
it is.
guy. That's the prurience man.
Yeah.
That's there's a peeping Tom who sells bolognese.
He's from America. Oh, okay. What about that, the famous charity fundraising paedophile who hosts a children's show? What's he famous for? He invented being a DJ.
Oh, right.
What? Yeah, he invented being a DJ.
I nearly said someone else who isn't officially. I'm very glad I didn't.
You nearly started a conspiracy.
Nearly started a whole conspiracy. I told you this. I did this when when I was a journalist, and I was like comparing my first gig, and obviously like you want to be really sharp and on it because you're interacting with the audience. And in the first section, I was trying to be very sharp and on it. I was very nervous, and it was at this village called Dronfield in South Yorkshire. But in the second half, I made sure I was very sharp and on it. And then in the third section, I was like, all I'm doing is bringing on the headliner and saying, "Welcome your headline act." And so I had a couple of pints, and I felt a bit tipsy, and I hadn't eaten like all day. And I went on stage and was telling them about the fact that like the full-time job was at the time was working as a journalist and a newsreader. And it's because one of the other acts had made a reference to like Operation Nutri or whatever. And I just told this this audience that I was like, the next one's going to be Rolf Harris. Because it was about 6 months before his arrest. Everyone knew it was going to happen. So for a while, there was just this one village in South Yorkshire who knew all about his crimes, but nothing could be done about it.
Just 6 months of a South Yorkshire village being ahead of the country and
exactly, yeah. And it was
bad.
it was exactly the sort of twee film you'd find sort of released in the UK or Ireland. It was basically the plot of Waking Ned, where everyone's got to keep it quiet. Jim
Broadbent's in it by law. British Film Board. No, boo!
Yeah.
Don't show me this trailer.
The disappointment I feel, and I shouldn't feel this way.
Everyone's just eating shepherd's pie in every scene.
Yeah. Oh, the Guernsey literary peel and potato peel. So like lots of peel. Yeah.
I feel like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible when he's trying to convince him not to kill his girlfriend.
Yeah, it's
trailers going.
It's Harvey Dent when the Joker takes his nurse's mask off.
Yeah, starring Maggie Smith.
No, Dench. Sometimes.
A boy on a bike in a jumper in corduroys. No!
Oh, God, yeah. There's like a Christmas scene where some boy's on a sled and the sled gets a bit out of control. And there's a bit of the music sounds like it's funny, but the film isn't funny. It's just a kid going down a hill going, whoa, whoa.
It's no joke.
And then he sort of flumps into some snow, and then that's the end of the scene.
And they all go, oh. That's the joke, is their reaction.
He lands in some snow, and then the next scene is him. The jump cuts to him, sat next to a fire with a blanket around him, looking wet and shivering. That's it.
Yeah.
But he shan't be going out again at 5 p.m. The drop in enthusiasm I feel if I start watching a film and you're expecting 20th Century Fox and it says like film 4 and you go, it's not a real film. Okay. Oh, it's not a real one. Okay. I'm just managing my expectations. I used to feel this way every time. Like I even felt this when I saw 28 Days Later. I was so excited for it. And the 20th Century Fox strikes up and it was the first 20th Century Fox film I'd ever seen where it just kept going and it said Searchlight. And it was like, no! Oh no, there's not going to be an explosion, is there?
If you're listening to this, me and Glenn are going to be at the Fringe. By the time you hear this, we will have been at the Fringe and performing. We'll be there. We'll be in Edinburgh.
You'll be 3 shows in, and I'll be 1 show in.
Yeah. So come see us at the Fringe. We're also going to be doing a BudPod live at the Fringe on the 3rd of August.
Sunday the 3rd.
Yeah.
At Monkey Barrel.
At Monkey Barrel,
Lovely
MB3.
venue.
Just before 11 p.m. Come to Monkey Barrel on Sunday the 3rd of August in the evening for BudPod Live. Also, Glenn,
we're doing competitions and prizes and stuff like that.
Yeah, probably. Why not? We'll hand out pieces of the clothing of the Frosties boy.
We've got t-shirt cannons, but they're just going to fire a big flapping salmon into your lap.
We have 1 t-shirt cannon, and it will fire a t-shirt powerfully enough to kill whoever receives it. It's not for fun, it's for killing. It's for sacrifice.
It's like when someone is mucking about with blanks on a movie set and they fire it like point blank and it obviously instantly kills you.
Yeah.
We'll be firing a salmon point blank into your chest. You will be the first person to ever die from that cause.
We've got to fire a t-shirt cannon in such a way that the t-shirt puts itself on you. So you have to be topless and horizontal with your arms up. So that the t-shirt can be fired directly onto your body.
Imagine if we turn up on the Sunday and there's no one there and we go, looking back, I think we plugged it the wrong way.
Yeah.
I don't think we should have led with the salmon thing.
There's one guy there who's really excited for the salmon. He hasn't understood that it was made up.
I was thinking this about I don't know how much You've Been Framed you watched back in the day, but I swear it used to be like, it was like snuff tapes back in the day. And I realised it was because the prize money was always 250 quid, which obviously is like still a decent fee now, but in the 90s was like a house deposit. So like people were using it as like a life insurance thing. Like, like the movie Hostel was based on like a real experience the guy had in some really impoverished country he went to where people were offering themselves up as, you can kill me for 10,000 whatever, and as that money will then go to my kids. And that was like that was a real thing that I think Eli Roth stumbled across on the internet.
Yeah.
That was basically what You've Been Framed was. It was like a life insurance scam thing. That you'd film a video of yourself getting killed, of like sliding too violently into a patio door, and then you'd get 250 quid and your family's then just set for life in 1993. And Jeremy Beadle was just this like jigsaw-esque mastermind behind it all.
That's how all those property tycoons got started, was that they were just very slippy.
Yeah.
They were very slippery people who could already afford camcorders.
Yeah, and if you just had to prove to like any mortgage lender that you already had a property that you owned, and everyone used the same one, which was PO Box that you've been.
Yeah. Oh, it's interesting. A lot of houses are called things like Dunroman or whatever.
Yeah.
Yours is called You've Been Framed.
PO Box at
PO Box.
PO Box
Yeah.
at You've Been Framed.
Or just going around with a camcorder at weddings, just waiting for the inevitable. I seem to remember half the videos were kids falling off a swing, and the other half was a grandma falling over at a wedding.
Yeah, and just cake after cake being dropped. Birthday cake, wedding cake. It was always cakes featured a lot.
Footage so grainy that it's almost like dot art or like an impressionistic painting. You can't quite make out the human shape in it.
What's funny is that now 90s video camera footage is quite an overused trope in horror films.
Yeah.
So actually you go, well, I'm used to seeing this in a film like Sinister or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, the cake is the cake is gonna consume her in flame. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm primed to expect this. That kid's head's gonna fucking twist off in a second. Yeah, that's true.
It's probably really eerie if you watch it back.
Someone pointed out that a medium is treasured and like missed for the exact qualities that made it bad. So, for example, everyone thinks it's more cool and retro to have that kind of, that kind of weird fuzzy band that would descend sometimes on like VHS.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant like someone who got in touch with spirits.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah,
I just equated those two things.
Sorry, no, Glenn. Every psychic is treasured for what they got wrong.
Yes,
in life.
Yeah, like we love them because they were shit.
We love them because there was no one.
Well, that's why we love Derek Acora.
It's why people resent Darren Brown. It's been good at his job.
Yeah.
He's too good. It's not funny.
Oh, since people appreciate the sort of judgment when you'd pause the TV and it would just go and it would make its way back up the screen.
Or like pixel art, where everyone's like deliberately making more pixel games than ever before, really, for no reason other than I miss when things look like they were made of pixels. Even though at the time that was seen as the limitation.
Weirdly, my counter argument against that, I suppose, has always been that in the 90s and early noughties, you had those very popular comedy greetings cards, which were always a classy stock photo image from like the 50s of like two.
It's like a Brill Cream advert.
Yes, like a man in a fancy suit or whatever, and the caption would always be like, "Harold had just done a big shit." Yeah. That would be what it was, and you were like, "Oh, haha!" But like that worked because it was glossy 50s images.
Yeah.
Whereas if it had been like a grainy Polaroid from the 90s, and you open that up on your birthday, and it was just like a very grainy Polaroid of a man sort of like John loved sniffing underwear, you'd be like, "Why are you giving me this?
Is this a threat? Is this evidence from something else?
It's my birthday. Why have you given me this?"
I don't mean treasured in that sense. Like a birthday card. I just mean more like the flaw will be what people are trying to emulate.
Yes, okay.
So just going like, oh, is there any way we can make this look like it was done on a cheap camcorder? Whereas back then with cheap camcorders, people would be like, I really fucking wish this didn't look like this.
Yeah.
I really wish I had a really crisp image.
Well, I wonder what it will be.
It's nostalgia, really. For this generation.
Yeah. Will it just be like pages populated with adverts?
I went on a more sort of trad stag do to Croatia, and we went on like a party boat, like you rent it for the day, and just sail you around as you get sunburnt and dehydrated and drunk. And all the kind of like Gen Z German girls there on some kind of like, spring break or whatever, were taking photos of each other using those shitty digital cameras that we used. Like when, like in like sixth form.
Yeah, one of those big like light bulb ones from the 30s. You have to put a cloak over your head. If you took a selfie, it would kill you.
You can take a selfie, but you'll be blind forever. But they were taking like with a massive like pixelated red date in the corner that's not even right, you know?
Oh man!
And you can have like 7 photos per camera till you USB them into your computer and delete them. Yeah, that was their big fun thing they were doing.
God, that's odd.
But it's the nostalgia. That's already what it is for our generation. It's weird. We're already old enough now that cool young people are taking bad photos of each other with our technology.
Yeah, and when they take bad photos as well, they are of they're like 90s Polaroid, as opposed to the images you see of yourself at university in like 2010. I've never seen anyone so pallid, gaunt, wet. We all look so wet, pale and damp, and really like everyone like
everyone went to uni in a cave.
There'd be a picture of me like rehearsing for a play, but it looks like I'm on MDMA at like 2 PM in like a rehearsal room. It's like, it's absolutely bizarre.
All the images are like incredibly like bright flash.
Yeah, that seemed to be a really fashionable thing.
And then the background is like bizarrely dark.
Man, in terms of stuff I do not miss from that era, I was thinking about a friend of mine who used to do this thing where obviously people would abuse your Facebook, and if they got onto your Facebook, it would just
I am gay or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then people would always get like a phone call from their nan or something. I mean, like, nan's asking me if I've just come out.
Yeah.
But there was a friend of mine who did something worse, and I would start to do the same thing after that. What he would do as worse would be he'd use your profile to post very limp compliments under people's photos. So he'd post under a photo of a few people, and it would just post like, "You look like you're having a very good time here," and you go, "That is ruinous. That's ruinous to my social life."
I think I know who this was. I think I know which of your evil genius friends.
But it was a very fun thing to do, I guess. But a similar thing is happening now. In the world of AI, I was wondering if you have encountered a Facebook page, and I'm not on Facebook anymore because I got locked out and I got hacked. But there is a Facebook page called The Michael Barrymore. It has got 48,000 fans, and it just posts headshots of comedians. It will post a picture of like John Richardson, and then next to it, it will have a black bar, and it will have writing in which there's a quote attributed to John Richardson about like the art and craft of comedy.
What?
But it's always like an AI-generated quote.
And it's called The Michaal Barrymore.
The Michael Barrymore. So,
wait, was this the thing Josh Whittaker was sharing on his Instagram?
That's the thing Josh Whittaker was sharing. There's one of all right. So if there's one of Ellis James.
Right.
Ellis James. Humor connects us through the everyday. If I can make someone laugh about something as small as a supermarket queue, it's because they've lived it too. It's shared, and that's what makes it funny. That's so damaging. But there's ones of me.
I would rather have a fucking Hitler quote next to my
Einreich Novellie. Here we go. There's one of me. He's got a headshot of me. Timing is everything in comedy. A perfectly delayed punchline or an unexpected twist can turn a simple observation into a joke that stays in people's heads long after the show ends. I've never said that. I've never said that at all. But also, a bald man has commented, more wokery, unfortunately.
No, let me see.
Look at his head is the head you'd expect.
More wokery, unfortunately.
So that's not even a joke. He hasn't done that as a joke.
There's not even anything woke. What's woke in it? Humor makes everyone laugh. Oh, you fucking hippie.
Yeah.
I like humor for its cruelty and its ability to destroy. Yeah?
Which they always follow up with, bring back Tommy Cooper. And you go, what jokes of his are you possibly remembering?
Everyone should be deported, just like that. Tommy Cooper standing on the shores, pointing a rifle into the channel.
Yeah.
That one, I like that sketch.
Yeah. I went to a doctor, I should have broken my arm in several places. He said, don't go to Turkmenistan. What? What? What are you talking about?
I was going to try and click on this guy's profile. I'm going to zoom in.
No, it's the camera roll. So watch how far you go in either direction.
His face, the guy who said more wokery, unfortunately, it is like in a reasonable world, you'd presume he had alopecia. Is the level of shaven-headed baldness, football hooligan fucking thumbhead that he has.
His facial expression, which is one he's chosen,
yeah,
is the Kurt Angle meme.
Yes, it is. Fucking hell. The most, I felt guilty about this joke, but it got a really, really good laugh in Norway. And
Okay.
So it's because of that, people who look like that, right?
Yeah.
There's a type of British bloke.
Yeah.
That is just like, chooses to look like the bad guys from Dune.
Baron Harkonnen people.
Baron Harkonnen people.
Yeah.
There's thousands of them. They got bright red pink thumb heads.
Bane without the mask.
Yeah. And he's without the mask and wearing a vest and in Spain. The Bane in Spain. And I said, and I felt guilty about it because I prefer the UK to Norway. I don't want to live in Norway. But there's this club audience of like beautiful Norwegians, like everyone
Yeah.
just incredibly well turned out and sort of very, hello, you've come to tell us some jokes. And I said, do you guys think that British people, like most British people, look like snowmen?
Like specifically the cartoon The Snowman, where they're the exact shape. It's like really
Just like a big white circle and then a big white circle.
with a hat.
It's just like a scarf. And I felt so disloyal. But it had occurred to me because it was snowing. And everyone in Norway's heads is like shaped. Everyone in Norway has a head like the guy from fucking Half-Life. Just like straight down, handsome, rigid cheeks, like, And I thought, to you, we must look like a land of fucking circular. Yeah. That guy's got a fucking snowman.
That's him. I like to describe the film The Snowman in like as really positively as possible, but using the terms, this boy wakes up and there's a naked man in his garden. And the naked man invades the home, but then takes the boy away. And he takes him into the woods where there's lots of other naked men.
Yeah.
Then he takes the boy back home. When the boy wakes up, the naked man has taken his own life in his garden. Where's the lie?
After they all dance together.
Yeah.
You forgot about the dancing, right?
No wonder the kid's sad and confused in the morning. He's having one of the most intense 12-hour experiences of his life. They didn't treat him badly. I just, I had a really bad time gigging in Norway.
Yeah.
I had a really bad time because I self-deprecate, and that's just not.
Yeah, they just go, this man hates himself.
It was so bizarre.
Yeah.
Like it's the only time I've ever been heckled with, don't be so hard on yourself.
Really?
Yeah, and it was like... I was like 3 jokes in.
Please feel better about this so you can tell your jokes.
Yeah. You must move through your issues so you can work effectively. It was so strange. And
You
then
will not remember the funny things you have prepared for us if you keep getting distracted by self-loathing.
It's in like a really pass-ag way. I just then
yeah.
like made some absurd boast, and they
Yeah.
were sort of like, yeah. And it was like, I don't know what you could. I think I know what would make you cheer.
Yeah.
But I don't know what would make you laugh.
I think their kind of like bluff literalism has been also now slightly mixed with American
self-celebration, maybe.
celebration.
Yeah.
So it's like there's not much wiggle room if you're going at it with a very English sensibility.
Yeah, my God.
It's not. It's a different. Where were you?
Oslo and then Bergen.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And I think Oslo, I had a much harder time. Bergen was then the night after, and I sort of had a bit of a better gauge. But also, it was the night of Eurovision, and everyone was happy. Obviously, because I was in a European city, but where they really go for Eurovision.
Yeah.
In a way that obviously we just can't fathom.
No, it's so strange to see something happening like that in Norway where it's mainstream, and then in the UK where it's like, oh well, all the gay bars in Soho will be showing it.
Yeah, it was me, Anya Magliano, and Chloe Petts were doing gigs out there, and we watched it in a gay bar in Bergen, and it was like, this is the best experience of Eurovision I've ever experienced, because this is how it's meant to be experienced.
This is what it's for.
Yeah, as opposed to watching it with my parents tutting.
Just muttering.
Oh, it's all political. Do you think?
Yeah. Apologies if I've told this story before. Me and Ian Smith were gigging in Norway, and the organizer comes to the green room, and he says, oh, hey guys, there's this American comic who just wants to go up for 5 minutes because he's in town, if that's okay. And we were like, oh yeah, fine. Like that's more of a thing in America, isn't it? Going up for 5 minutes, like dropping in on a club.
Yeah.
You hear about it all the time. It's not really.
Chris Rock just stopped by with a stack of notes.
Sure, can I just go up? Can I
Yeah.
just go up for 5 minutes? Fine. It's not really a thing in the UK, but it was quite interesting to hear about it. And we're in Norway and there's this American community. Who knows who it is?
He's come all the way from America.
Well,
That immediately bigs it up.
But also he's here for some reason, exactly. So how interesting. And also who can't, like me and we're getting paid the same, we don't care. We'll let it cut into our time. So we were like, yeah, fine. Okay, sure, go for it. He goes, okay, I'll go get him. And he brought him down, and he's like a 65-year-old man with like a shopping bag. And we were like, hello. And he says, yeah, I was just walking by, saw it was a comedy club and thought I'd try out my set. And we were like,
oh no.
okay. And so we're trying to figure out what is this? What are we in for? And he's not really sort of biting, but it becomes clear that actually he's some sort of retired oil executive. He's just like a very rich American man who like used to do a lot of work in Norway, or he's quite vague about his life.
Wasn't that Jimmy Carr's job before he went into comedy as
Shell,
well?
Shell, yeah. Yeah. And he keeps all the oil in his hand. He looks like he puts crude oil in his like perfect black hair. He's the most flammable man in comedy. So this guy's sort of being quite vague about his life. And was sort of go, oh, okay, fine, just 5 minutes, fine. And he goes, great. We're trying to gauge what he's going to do because we're like, oh, who do you like, And he's like, oh, all the greats like Steve Martin, George Carlin or whatever, and some of the new stuff as well. And
he goes, there's going to be anything, nothing's unique here.
This is it. You just got to, okay, fine, let's just wait and see what he does. So right after the interval, he goes up. And before he goes on, he opens his little plastic shopping bag and takes out a rubber rhino mask. Right. Right. But it hasn't got like a face on it. It's got like a face hole cut out for his face. And then like a horn coming out of his forehead.
Right, so it's a party hat.
No, but it goes under his chin. Right. It's like a...
But is it rhino skin? Rubber that goes under.
Rubber, yeah. It's like
a balaclava.
It's a rubber flappy.
So it's one of those balaclavas that your entire face comes through.
Yes, made of flappy grey rubber with like rhino ear holes and like a big rhino floppy horn coming out the forehead and a little extra horn snubby nubby thing on top. And little
it could be like Kearns.
Little
it could
rhino
be like John Kearns.
Well,
it could be, yeah.
So as he's getting this out and putting it on, I'm watching that going, okay, here we go. Okay, let's see what this is. So he puts on his rhino hat. And he, by the way, this whole time he's dressed like a nice grandpa. He's got like slacks or maybe corduroy on, like a nice shirt. Like he's not dressed like a mad tramp at all. He's very well turned down. He looks like a grandpa in an American film where they have a massive house for no reason.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And he goes up and does like, obviously ends up doing like 10 minutes instead of 5. But he just walks up and like stands there completely silent with his rhino head on for a bit, and then sings a song which is something like, I've got a video on my phone, which is something like, there's a penis in my brain. But he sings, like he does it like Gregorian chant. There's a penis in my brain, and every time I get a boner, I have a seizure, like that. Something about every time I get a boner, I have a seizure. Me and Ian are at the back of the room going, oh, fuck.
Because you look like accomplices now.
It looks like
your colleagues.
It looks like, okay, everyone, these are the two comedians' best friends.
Yeah. We're the traveling trio.
They think this is good.
Yeah. And they open with this guy.
But he got some laughs just because I think the insanity of what was happening. Everyone in the crowd was either blank-faced Norwegian, just like I will wait for this to make sense, or the kind of European, Central European, Northern European thing where absurdity is the funniest thing in the world. Like, he's like a clown. So there were like 4 Norwegian guys almost vomiting from laughing. And then like 20...
Because a medieval court jester.
Oh, boo, there is a penis in my brain. I'm going,
And they just do it like, in my head, all I can picture a medieval court jester ever doing is just a roly-poly. And then, the buffoon!
Well, so he's got bells on, so there's a funny sound.
Yeah.
Funny sound. Cat, perhaps. Yeah, so 4 people almost sick from laughing, and then maybe 20 people watching just going, what the fuck is this? And then just things around of that nature for sort of 10 minutes or so.
Jesus. Which city was this at?
I think it was Stavanger, the oil town.
I nearly couldn't go on stage at Bergen because I was laughing so hard.
Yeah.
Because I just stumbled across an article on my phone, and I don't know how I'd stumbled across it, but it was about Andre the Giant once doing a shit so large that people on a flight, that people on the plane were crying. It's just, I didn't intend to read it, but it just came up. But the article was written so positively, as if it was like an inspiring, you go, Andre,
he
sort of
once
thing.
did.
Yeah, and it said, He said he wasn't just a star of the ring; he was a star on the porcelain as well. But it was the clearly AI generated sentence. He was a star on the porcelain. A star on the porcelain. Kid, one day you'll play the Copacabana. It was, but one of those times you go, I'm a mess. And they're like, you're on in 2 minutes. And it was like, in my current state, I can't, because one of his fellow wrestlers said he'd have been able to have filled a bin bag. So I can't go on, can I? I can't go on because I've just read that.
Filling a bin bag is a disgusting fucking
5 liters or whatever.
Just the visual of it firing out like a fucking silly string can. Just to a bin bag, like shaving foam. Just this string, this rope.
Rope, my God.
Stop. Also, the idea that
rope like when Pippin accidentally knocks that bucket down in Moria, and it's just lengths of rope just firing down as well.
That's it, exactly. Horrible momentum to it.
Fool of a took lighter with paper next time.
But also the idea that, like, to be a star on the porcelain is to actually ruin a toilet by shitting so much in it that you destroy a plane.
It's about volume.
That's not a star.
Yeah.
A star would be like, he's the best at using it correctly, surely. Not like if someone does it, if someone wrecks a fucking bathroom before you, you don't go,
well, buddy,
where do I know
let
you?
me shake your hand.
Where do I know you from? You must be a star. You're a star to me.
You have a dreadful star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
A big brown star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
But everyone just avoids. You just step round it.
Going, oh, don't look
like the end of the substance. I'll
Well, look, guys, thank you for listening. Come see us at the Fringe. Come see BudPod live, 3rd of August, Monkey Barrel. And Glenn and I, of course, do Button Boys with Sarah Keyworth about video games and gaming, if you like gaming.
That's every Thursday.
That's every Thursday.
See our individual shows at the Fringe as well. You are on at Monkey Barrel 3 at 7:05. I'm on in the Pleasance 4th every day at 5:30 p.m. Do come and see our shows. We are there the entire month. You can watch the show as well on YouTube. You can watch BudPod.
Oh, yeah.
Entire episodes on YouTube. All the ones we've done together as part of season 2 are on there for your viewing delectation.
And if you are listening to this as a VIP, on August the 4th, you will be getting the first of a few George pods. We got George Fouracres of Australia, Melbourne BudPod fame, to come in and do some recording with me just for Patreons only, because I know you guys like George a lot. And so you'll get a little slice of George once a month for the next few months as a kind of experiment. Let us know if you like it. Listen to it. Some really, really great stuff in there. So a fine reward for you guys for being subscribers.